What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Two Sisters, One Book. I'm Carla.
And I'm Amanda. We are two sisters, two moms tackling one book at a time.
Yeah, that was a that was a pretty crazy 3 chapters. I just called you and I yelled at you for making me end there.
I know, but I love it. So, to set the scene, we are doing the squad games. And before they were supposed to do like the last task of the squad games, I think the next day, but one of the professors is like, we're going to do it now. So then you see all these like cadets getting in their squads and everything, which I could see it like complete mayhem because he goes, who was it? One of the professors was like, as you can tell, your leadership isn't here. So everybody I feel like is running around all crazy. But this is where Imogen steps in and she kind of like takes the reins and everything. But I
She
really
steps
like
into the
that
leadership
chapter.
role.
Yeah, I really like that chapter. I like to see everybody using their gifts that they got and stuff. And Violet using her brains. I mean, she broke into her mom's office and everything. So that
I know
was
I liked that
fun.
chapter a lot. As I was reading it, I was getting suspense, like watching a movie, eating my popcorn. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, what's gonna happen?
And the guard wakes like finds them. Oh my gosh, that was fun. And then I thought it was really funny when they were naming down. It was really sad, but really funny when they were naming down what got what. So it was First Wing stole Kiori's handwritten manual on the personal habits and flaws of all active dragons, which is really impressive. I mean, you break into the professor's thing, and I was like, how did you know what to look for? Second squad, they took a uniform of one of the infantry professors, fully intact, with something writers never bear, a name tag. How the heck did they get that?
No.
Like, was it just laying around and they're like, I'm taking that?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
then
like,
third,
who's like, this is a good thing to leave here. If someone takes it, it's okay.
right? And then third wing takes, oh my
That was the
gosh,
most
it's so sad.
interesting one.
They take a scribe, like that poor
I was like, so you
scribe.
chose a person. You chose to take a person and bring back.
Not only did they take them, but they took its ability to talk. So I was just like, I would be traumatized. And of course, you have fourth squad or fourth wing. They take General Sorengale's map off the freaking wall. Like, that's ballsy too. But we all know how that happened because it explained how that happened. And I love to see everybody's gifts got to work. And they really worked as a team for that one. So
Yeah.
that
No, I
was
liked that.
fun.
I liked that a lot. I also liked in the chapter how they list all of the signets that these people have.
Yeah.
Like we were able to actually see like who had what. I thought that was pretty cool because I mean some of them we knew, like we knew about uh Liam's, we knew about Rhiannon's. Um did we know about Imogen's and Quinn's before? I don't think we did.
We knew about Imogen's.
Yeah, Quinn's we didn't know about though,
I
right?
didn't know about Quinn's.
Yeah, I didn't know
No.
about Quinn's. I was like, huh. So I just like that they give us like that little bit of information that we wouldn't normally have. But turns out Quinn is a astral projector. She can like leave her body in one place and then, but
Go
really like her,
explore.
yeah, but like she's physically she's physically there, but she's not there, right?
Yeah. That would
So
be
if
kind of
someone was,
scary though. I'm not gonna it's cool, but like I feel like you would be completely like who's defending you in this while you're not
yeah,
there with your body?
and in a way, we all probably do that, right? Because we might physically be somewhere, but our mind is elsewhere.
Yeah, that's
Not to that
true.
degree, but I found that fascinating that we were able to get a little bit more information. So does that mean Violet's the only one who hasn't been able to actually physically manifest her signet?
So far, yeah, as what we
Interesting.
learned. But I mean,
Yeah.
they won the games, so now they get to go to the wall. I want to call it the wall, but it's not that. I guess the
But
front lines.
yeah, and we find out that she ends up stealing from her mom's office. It's
Yeah,
like,
as
oh,
I said in the
she's
beginning.
got some metaphorical balls over here, like going in. And
Yeah.
but why do you think she chose the map? Because of the fact that it told them everything that the enemy, right? Because
Would
they're
want
doing it
it
as,
had all the
yeah,
information on it.
yeah. It
It
tells
had
them
the
where it's all
post, it had
going.
who was stationed there, it probably had how many people were stationed there.
Yeah,
It had I think there was a lot of trading posts up there too, so it had almost everything.
but Violet didn't know that she was going for the map initially, right? She just was like, "Let's go to my mom's office and like we'll find
Yeah.
something there out of use."
Yeah, because
You
she was
know.
even reading the letters to see, and then she saw the map and she's like, that's exactly what we need.
Which the letters basically were just telling her like, that there's a
They
lot
need
more going
support.
on, yeah, outside than what they're told to believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Which was,
interesting.
yeah, she's all like, this isn't talked about.
Yeah, I liked
Nothing's
that.
talked about.
And we also saw Rhiannon use her signet power in this because they had to get the map on the other side, and so they like what Rhiannon uses her signet to like get the map to her hands. Like she
Yeah.
held her
They
hands
didn't,
out.
yeah, she didn't even think that was going to work. And I like, Imogen, please work, please work, please work. So you could
Yeah.
totally see that they're growing in their gifts too, because before Rhiannon could only muster a book from her desk to her bed, and that was like an iffy transition. And now she just totally did a huge map from an office down the hall, which the map was so big it took more than one person to carry it.
Do you think this whole point of the games is like so that they can essentially use their powers in a situation that could possibly happen? Like they're forced to use their signets to try to steal something, like they might eventually have to do with their own enemies.
Yeah, I could see it being for that too. I can see it
Hmm.
being for a lot like that, to use your brains, teamwork. You have to completely work as a team and trust each other during this.
Hmm.
And then just to see like how creative and how smart can you get, like, which I feel like all the squads got pretty creative, from a journal to a uniform that I'm still trying to figure out how the heck did you get somebody's uniform.
Yeah, and
Just
where were they?
stealing a
Why were they
four.
not wearing it?
Right. uh but I
Yeah.
feel like too they probably broken into that area because they're all the cavalry people were all out camping, because you saw all the campfires and everything. So I could, you always have more than one uniform, but dang, for somebody so easily to break in and just grab a uniform, that's wild.
I know. I mean,
To steal a human being is wild, but we'll figure that out later. That poor scribe.
but out of everything that we saw of all the things that they were all stealing, I do feel like stealing the map was probably one of the best things to
Well, yeah,
have.
they won. They won.
Yeah,
So
and even Violet's like, I don't even need the votes to know that I won or that we
yeah,
won.
yeah,
Yeah,
she's
that was.
cocky.
I know. I was like, but we're seeing her brain moving. We're seeing her smarts come into play again. Like I had said before, that you're not only going to just need strength for even in the riders quadrant, you're going to need some brains too.
Yeah, better
So
than
that was
Riddick's
cool.
answer. Riddick wanted to steal somebody's underwear. Can't remember. And
Yeah, I was
Brianna's
like,
like,
what is
no.
how is that going to help you? What are you going to do?
Ah,
Like
I mean,
with the underwear?
who knows? Someone could have an underwear fetish on the enemy line. I feel like I take it.
Yeah. What are they going to use it as bait? Like they're going to just prop someone's underwear up and be like, okay, let's go hide in the bushes. And it's like an animal hunting coming in and it's like, ooh, look, there's meat. And then like a bear trap like takes them. Or like one of those
That's
things where it's like
weird.
a net that pulls
No.
them up. Like, what are you going to do with underwear,
Gross.
dude? Like,
Stop.
no.
Ew.
I don't know. You
Ew.
try to figure out what they're trying to do. Like, what is in that mind is what I'd like to know. Like,
Mm-mm.
Riddick is like
Anyways,
a funny joker.
he
I don't
is
know.
pretty funny, huh?
Hmm.
You keep loving that guy, Carly. You keep loving that guy.
Oh, I like Riddick.
Um,
I think he's perfect because he just kind of like peppers in those little jokes when needed. Like when they're all in these like moments of like, what do we do? He's like, oh, I know what we can do. Let's steal someone's underwear. And you're like, funny, but not, not
Not
gonna
what we
work.
need right now. So yeah. So we see the squad win, and then we get to see them fly over to the next like front line, which I think would be so cool. But I do see that this is their first time flying for at least 6 hours, and everybody's all sore getting off their dragon and stuff, except Dane. Dane's just Mr. Perfect over there. But me, I know because I have EDS too. So just sitting like on an airplane for like even an hour and a half, like I'm like, crap, I have to walk. I need to pop my hip back out of or in place. I need to do something. I don't think I could sit straddled on something for more than an hour, and she did it for 6. So
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. I put in my notes that
yeah.
that they went on a field trip.
Field trip? I guess, yeah. School
I mean, they
trip.
kind
Let's
of
go.
did, right? They left the school to go and,
To
you
fly
know,
6 hours.
yeah.
So
I mean,
yeah.
you've been on a field trip in school, right? Where you you go and you visit these places to like get some information. I don't know,
Yeah, no, I could see it as a field trip. That's a pretty cool field trip.
a
But then
field
we
trip.
get to see Mira again, which was really sweet. And we see Rhiannon. How did you feel about Rhiannon and Violet sneaking out to see Rhiannon's family and getting caught?
My first thought was, don't be stupid. Like, it's like,
I would
please don't be.
totally do that though. I'd be
Oh,
like,
I
oh, we're
know
only
you
an hour,
would.
okay? Let's go. We
It
got
was just
this.
it was like the initial thought of like, well, what if you guys get caught? What if something happens? Of course, all the things that like Mira, when she caught them, was like, telling her. But then, like, as I started to, because I kind of forgot that Rhiannon's sister was pregnant, and I was like, well, I guess I can see her wanting to, sneak out. Especially, it's not like, I mean, this is something that like if it was just like, oh, I just want to go and like, see my boyfriend or like, whatever. But no, like she was genuinely
Yeah.
wanting to see like her nephew and I could see that, especially if you're only like an hour away and what
It's a
they talk about.
5 minute flight. Like
Right. Like if
back
you
and
hop
forth,
on
you're
your dragon,
good.
yeah, and you get there in
It's
five
like a
minutes, I could see
oof,
that.
and then you're
Yeah.
there. I would
So
so do it in a heartbeat.
my my initial reaction was like, don't be stupid. And then, my next thought was like, all right, fine, I get it. I get it. Like if that's what you want to do, go for it. And especially it felt better knowing that Mira was like, I'll go with you because she's like, you were going to do it regardless. So I might as well go
Yeah.
with you. But then I thought
She's
like,
so funny. Don't you
yeah. And then
check the corners? I would have been like, no, I didn't even think about that. You weren't supposed to be here.
yeah,
Like,
I did wonder though who took over Mira's job while while they left because she's like I switched my position because
like
I
she's
you were acting weird at dinner. I'm like, so was there nobody there during that position all night? Like what what happened,
maybe.
Yeah, but I thought that was cute, and I liked. So this is my other question for you. Was this like the first time? I know it's the first time they've seen each other since Violet left, but is this like like the first time that Mira knows anything of Violet? Like, that she survived? That she?
Um,
Sorry, hold on 1 second. Aaron was calling me. I meant to put my phone on silent. Okay,
oh,
did that cut out or
okay.
is it good?
It totally cut out.
Okay, what was the last part I said before? And I'll just reset it. Oh, okay.
Um,
The Violet thing. Okay. So was this like the I know it's the first time that Mira and Violet have seen each other since Violet left. But is this the first time that they like that Mira knows anything of Violet? Like she knows that she survived or she knows, anything that has to do with Violet? Or does she kind of get like
well, she
notes
said
throughout the
it.
like
No, she said it in the beginning that you're alive. And I think she gets glimpse of stuff because she did see her one time. She did know that she bond two dragons. She did know what happened to Amber Mavis because she said that's news that everybody knows. So I think she gets little
yeah.
tiny notes, but actually seeing something and hearing something, I feel like seeing something is completely
Mhm.
different. Like you're now physically able to see she's still alive, she's not hurt, she's not broken. Her physical
Yeah.
appearance looks totally different than the last time she left because she is building muscle with Imogen. And she's just, and her whole, I
Mhm.
think her whole mindset is different too. Like the last 8, 7 months has completely changed from the last time they saw each
Mhm.
other. But she even
Well, and
says she had a change in.
yeah, I remember, doesn't Dane's father say something like, oh yeah, I saw Mira like a couple chapters ago, right? Didn't he say, oh, I saw Mira and, you know, talk to her a little bit about you. So she had to have known something, you know.
Yeah.
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 But
Everybody
physically, you're right.
talks.
Physically seeing her is going to be different.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's like you can't really believe everything you hear because I don't know. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
But I liked having them be able to like connect, like have a moment to like sit down and talk and just catch up. And we got a lot during this chapter of them, not that we read a lot, but we know just from reading that they were able to spend a lot of time together just catching up. And to be honest, like it's kind of nice because a lot of people don't get that same treatment because their sisters or siblings or whoever are not there with them, Like this just
Yeah.
happened to be that they went and visited a place that Mira was at. So Violet gets to technically see her family, although they don't really get to see their family during this period, but because of the special circumstances, she was able to.
Yeah. And I feel like that kind of gave her a heart too to let Rhiannon see her sister. So,
Right.
which
It
was
was good
really
timing.
sweet. Hmm. I think it was. It was good timing. And then you have
Hmm.
Xaden popping in.
I know. Wait, he comes walking in there. She's like, how much time do you think we can be separated? And he goes, about 3 days, apparently. It's
All
like,
right.
there he goes.
Okay.
There's Xaden. But I would love to have been a fly on the wall to know what Mira's reaction was going to be the second that Xaden turns the corner and he's standing right there. Like, I would
Well,
have
she walked
loved
past him
to know.
like he was nothing, remember?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
So
That was crazy. But then that
I
leads us
thought it
into
was
the
funny.
next, right?
Section. Yeah. Which is a whole drama. I was just like, where's the popcorn for this? I was like, this is a
Yeah.
soap opera right here. Like one of those cheesy soap operas kind of.
Oh, yeah. That
Because
was crazy.
you have Mira trying to, she's all like trying to be like, I don't know, she's trying to like create a scenario in her head and everybody's taking it realistically. And she's all like, okay, just imagine this isn't happening. And they're like, no, but that wouldn't happen because of this. And she's all like, oh my gosh, like you guys are so,
Yeah.
get out of the
Yeah.
school
It's a
mind
bunch of
and
like
get into
literal
reality.
people.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay, just imagine if it does happen and this tower falls, like what would we do? And then
Hmm.
we see a whole like jealousy issue with Dane because
Hmm.
Xaden's in and sitting next to Violet, and he gets kind of jealous because when they're asking for a leader role, he's all like perks up. He's like, "It's me," and Liam is all like, "No, but our wing leader's here." And Zayden kind
I
of
can see
brushes it
Xaden over
off,
there
like,
like filing his nails. Like,
"Yeah, like, no, bro, you got this. Just pretend I'm not here." And
but I will say, like, Mira actually, like, I felt like really did a good job because she's trying to tell them, you guys, when you're out in the battlefield, nothing is predictable. You have to be ready
yeah,
for any type of situation that's going to come into play. So these hypothetical situations are good for you guys to learn because you need to be able to think on your feet and go, okay, this is happening right now. We have like maybe 10 seconds to figure out a plan. And all of them were just like, yeah, but that's not what we were taught. And we're not supposed to do this. And she's like, you guys,
yeah.
come on, put yourselves in the real situations for a
They're too
moment,
in school mode. Like even Dana's
Yeah.
too school mode because she's all like, how many third years been out on the front line? And Dane's like, third years don't get put on the front line. And Zayden's like, okay. And the
That's
other
because
guy
Dane's
was all
all
like,
about
ha
rules.
ha ha. Like
Yeah.
little does this jerk knows. But nobody really wanted to fight with him. And I liked how she was putting everybody's power to use too. And that's when I think
Hmm.
Dane realized how powerful Xaden really was. So,
Hmm.
like when they said, why don't
Yeah.
you just have Xaden make a complete blackout? And he's like, your shadows could travel that far. And he's like, I can't believe you're asking me that, bro. Like,
He's like, watch me.
yeah, like how, like, I don't know. I feel like if you were with somebody for at least 1 year, you should know how powerful they are. But I
Hmm.
guess Dane just hates the guy so well. Now he hates the
I,
guy. I mean, he had
I was gonna
Amber
say
killed.
he disliked Zayden. For a long time, but I think not even just the whole Amber situation. It's the fact that him and Violet are
Bonded.
forcibly close. Yeah, there is a jealousy factor in there, and we know that when you dislike someone that much, you tend to tune out things that are, maybe information that you might need. Right? Him not even knowing that Zayden could do that. That could have been bad if they were out in battle, because he would have had no idea to know, oh, Zayden can do this to help, because he's tuned him out so much because he's just like, I just don't like that guy. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And then I like too how we see that you could take your pin off the wall finally. Because now you asked a question a few episodes ago if since the two dragons are mated, if the two riders could bond and talk to each other through their bond and everything. And we find out that Xaden finally let in and Violet was like, I'm sorry, what?
Okay,
Like,
so when I read this, I was literally, this was me. I was reading it and I saw it and I'm like, did I miss something? Like, has this always been a thing? And then I was like, oh no, she's finding out for the first time also. Never mind. Like,
yeah. And
because
he goes, if I
she's
knew
like,
you were
I
gonna
literally
act like
turned and
this,
looked at him.
yeah, he goes, if I knew you were gonna act like this, I would have done it sooner. So
Which,
clearly
I
he
mean, let's be
knew.
honest. Yeah, she totally enjoys having. I mean, she might hide it, but she totally enjoys having Zayden's voice in her mind. She's like, yes, okay. And
Well,
clearly,
yeah,
we see that Zayden is enjoying either toying with her or actually enjoys having his mind in her head.
I think it's both.
We see
And
a
then
little
I like
mind
how,
flirting going on.
oh yeah. And she's all like, Taryn, how do I get him out of my head? And she goes, just block him the way you blocked me or bug
I
him
like that she
back.
doesn't know how to talk back to Zayden too. Like that was a funny little like add in by Rebecca Yaros.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah, but she doesn't know how to talk back to him. Like she's just
But
like,
like,
crap,
how
he's
would you
talking to me and I don't know what to
know?
do.
You know,
Yeah.
how would
Well,
you
it's not something I
know?
ever would have thought. I would have thought like, oh, and then they start talking to each other. But I'm like, really? Yeah, you're right. She doesn't know how to talk back to him like that. He's like,
Hmm.
figure out which channel he's talking to you through. And she's like, I don't even know how I'm talking to you.
Yeah. She's funny. Gosh,
It
that
was
would be
so
so cool
funny.
to have in real life. I don't think I would
Yeah.
want somebody in my head though. I'd be like, oh, I am never alone. Like,
Well, and it just goes to show, like, I mean, like, think going back to like even Dane and Zayden and their little arguments. First of all, I was cracking up when I don't remember who said it, but somebody's like, "Why don't you guys just whip it out already and measure them?" I was like, "Oh gosh, this is funny." But yeah, just like you see, like Zayden is obviously sitting next to Violet. He already has this connection with her because of the fact that their dragons are bonded, and so they're bonded together. And so you do see Dane really starting to like kind of get like his blood's boiling and he's like about to lose it, and then he kind of loses it, but he loses it in a way where he shouldn't, because he's technically supposed to be a squad leader. So it's like
mhm.
you're losing it in front of all these people. It shows a complete unprofessional manner, and it shows that you have your emotions that you're putting in front of the job you need to do.
Yeah. Which then that brings out the, I feel like Mama Bear in Mira, because she's like over it already. And she dismisses everybody except Dane, Violet, and Zayden, and she puts a soundproof wall.
Mhm.
And I love how she yells at Dane for this. It just made my heart so happy. I'm like, finally somebody said it. Because she said if I knew you couldn't handle your emotions or your actions for what Violet doesn't have control in, I would have never have told her to come find you. And I was like, man,
Yeah.
finally somebody says it to him. Like, and I feel like he
Yeah.
finally took like the words like seriously. I don't know. But she had a point, like if she was able to tell the weirdness going on between them within 4 days of them being together, then the squad could definitely tell the weirdness. And I didn't think of that until Mira said something, and that would be kind of weird to be around. Like to have that
Yeah.
awkward.
Yeah. I thought when Mira was like scolding Dane, that I was like, she's actually saying it pretty perfect, because it's exactly true. Like people literally are going to be able to tell. The fact that she's able to tell, like you just said, makes it so that it's very obvious. But yeah, she tells him, she's like, if you want his job, pointing to Zayden, next year you better drop this crap, because like it's not going to get you the wing leader
Anything.
position. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
and
gonna
I feel
work,
like
you
all
know?
eyes are on you, and all eyes could probably see how childish you're being.
Mhm. And then I had a little bit of a mixed reaction to when she was arguing with Zayden and Violet, because like I get the point she's trying to make. I do feel like she's a little bit more understanding than like Dane has been, because Dane was just like, no, you can't do any of this, and she's more like, I understand you got to do it. But I do feel like Mira's showing a little bit of hesitancy when she's talking about Violet like falling out of her seat. Like she's like, "What?" Like it almost seemed like she was gonna go in the direction of like, "You need, you got to work on this," you know. But then she kind of pulls back and was like, "Okay, I understand. I get why you can't do this, but it just concerns me as an older sibling to know that you can't even hold your seat, because that could be a life or death situation out there when you're flying." But I also felt like she was a little harsh on the fact that she's like yelling at them because they're technically mated. I'm like, what can these two do? Their dragons are bonded. The dragons chose them. What do you want them to do? You want
Yeah.
Xaden and Violet to go back to the dragons and be like, you guys have to break up because like we can't be together, like we you
No,
know
but you
and
have to be
and
able
I
to spend more than just 3 ti days apart, because either way
right
it's just not gonna work out for
right
whoever has to leave.
and I get that, but I personally feel like that should be more of a conversation Mira needs to have with Taryn and uh Zayden. Why cannot think of his dragon's name? That's more of a
But I
conversation to
think
have
Mira
with the
knew
dragons.
I think Mira knew more, because even if you think about it, Xaden did kinda hit, "Maybe it was me who couldn't stay away." Mira has been
Mhm.
around mated dragons before, so I think she does know how long, and I think she knows they could be away a little longer than 3 days. But instead of
Mhm.
making a scene, because she was even said she's been around mated dragons, that's why Violet was asking, but before she could answer, Xaden pulled up. And then Xaden made the remark,
Mhm.
maybe it was just me. You never asked if it was me who could stay away longer than 3 days. So I think her whole reaction is she knows something, and she knows it was Xaden. This is just the way I think of
Mhm.
it. She knows it was Xaden, so she was trying to like say something without saying something, like that's the whole conversation of her saying like you have to
Yeah.
figure out the 3 day situation.
Yeah. Which, and I like, and I do give it to her credit in the sense that she had a lot of good points with it too, of like, I like a lot of bonded dragons usually bond within the same year, like they have a rider within the same year. But then I also feel like Xaden sort of kind of went back at her with like, well, did you ever, did you realize that I'm the one who came to Violet? Like, I didn't have Violet leave her class to come to me. Like, I physically came to her. I left my post. I left someone else in charge of my wing. Like, I'm here because it's me. I'm the one who's leaving. So I can
Exactly.
see
And I
where,
feel like that's another hint that he gave, that it was him and not Sigel. Like,
yeah. And Mira probably does know that. And she's probably like, I don't want Violet getting involved with Zayden. So I'm not even going to bring this up. I'm just going to say that you guys need to figure out a way of spending longer than 3 days together.
without each
Right?
other.
Yeah,
Longer than
that's
three
what I
days
meant. I was like,
apart.
what did I just say? Yes, longer than 3 days
Yeah.
apart. Like, um, but of course, and actually, before we get to this final thing, I wanted to say really quick. So there's a, um, part in the book that I wrote down, because I know I've told you in the past, I'm like, okay, we've talked about signets and all this stuff, but this gave me like, I don't know, a little bit more of a clear vision of like how these signets are picked. Um, it says, what had Segal said about signets? It reflects who you are at the core of your being. It makes sense. Mira is protective, which we know she can like, push out shields, right? Dane has to know everything. We know how he knows how to read minds, and Xaden has secrets. So his shadows help hide things. So yeah, I thought that was kind of cool, because it does kind of pull out a little bit of like the person and who they are internally and just manifest them to like something that they might need in battle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of cool. But we get to this part of the book where, as they're mid argument, we see Taryn basically warns Violet, as we see Mira kind of stops in her tracks as she's talking, that what griffins are on their way.
Yeah. And I love how she could switch it from being so angry and like protective to like pulling her sister in and giving her a hug and telling her to go. She's
Hmm.
like, doesn't even give it a second thought. She's just like, oh. okay, there's danger. I gotta go. You gotta go.
Mhm.
And then
And
it was
yeah,
a
and she tells
whole,
Zayden, like, if you want to learn my trust, help her, protect her, get her out of here because she doesn't want to leave.
yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't want to leave either though. That was really hard. That was probably a really hard, I want to say, scene chapter to kind of end on, only because it's like I wouldn't want to leave my sister, especially like after seeing her like have a huge scar from her earlobe all the way down to her collarbone from like a griffin, and now it's just like
Mhm.
you never know what day is your last day in this field. So it's just like, and then you have Dane agreeing with him and making sense. Like it's not just
Mhm.
you, it's the entire, not the entire first, but all the first years intersection. Like they can't make it.
Yeah.
So stop being selfish and go. Like I feel
Is
like
it
if they would
because
have stayed, they would have
if she
gotten in the
wanted to
way.
stay, they all would have had to stay?
No, but they would have all wanted to stay. And if she would have stayed, she would have gotten in the way. She can't hold on to the dragon, so Taryn would have had to use his power to hold her on, which he wouldn't be able to use his power to fight. So what are they gonna do? Just fly around in a circle?
Mhm. Oh no,
Like doing all that.
I was on Team Zayden, I was on Team Mira, and I was on Team Dame for this one. I was like, yeah, she needs to go. She can't
She
be there.
needs
Like
to
I
just
understand you want
go.
to, but you need to go, girl. Like this is not something you're ready for. Um
Yeah.
I will say though, and I'm really hoping I'm hoping this pin is wrong. Um but I'm really hoping that they didn't set up this whole meeting with Violet and Mira because something happens to Mira. I'm really hoping that Mira ends up like pulling out of this because they kept talking about like, you know, Mira's like, I don't want to be an only child, and you know, like they're setting it up this way. They had this they were able to get together and talk about everything that's been going on, everything that she's probably wanted to tell her sister, and now we see this attack coming in, and Mira has to go and be there for it and do all these things, and then Violet is like, no, let me stay, and like, you know, we find out that Violet's like not gonna forgive Zayden if something happens to Mira, and I'm like, I hope this isn't like a setup by Rebecca Yarros to like to like kill off Mira. I'm gonna be so sad. Like, I guess we can pin that up and we'll return to it later. But I'm like, oh, please be wrong, Pin. But what do you know? Oh man. But yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. But I will say we had another kiss between Zayden and Violet. And this time it was not in reaction to their dragons getting it on. It was more of a, I want to do this, but also he's stalling. So
Yeah. That's
yeah,
a
so
fun
that was
part.
kind of spicy. But yeah, I mean, and that's where you left me, and that's why I called you mad. I was like, how dare you leave me on this chapter? Because now I have all these things going on in my mind. What's happening? Yeah. So yeah,
I
that was a
know.
hard
I bet
one
you're dying to
to
figure
leave
out what
on.
happens to Mira, huh? Poor
Yeah,
Mira.
I am. I
What if she
know.
does
So
die? How would you feel?
well, you know, I think it'd be sad because I feel like she plays a huge role in Violet's character. I think that that will set Violet back in a way that really kind of pushes her away from the people that really are there to help her, and Violet needs people to help her. You know, she has again like a little bit of a setback from all the other people, and I could just see if something happened, Violet might feel like it's literally just me left, and you know, she doesn't have this like, you know, relationship with her mom that she can rely on, and I think Violet might start to feel alone, and I think it might really impact her character on a different level, and it could also push her character too. So I'm not just saying she might fall from it, it also might cause a little bit more of her to be like, she falls, but then she needs to pick herself up and be like, now I really need to get to work and I really need to show who I can be.
Yeah. All right. Good to know.
Yeah. Was there anything else you wanted to cover?
Uh, no, but we love you guys.
Yeah. If you're not already, make sure you subscribe. Follow us. We're on social media on TikTok, Instagram. We're also on YouTube. We're on Facebook. And yeah, if you're reading along with us, I hope you're just as mad at Amanda as I was having to stop there. Of course, if anything, you probably kept reading. And to be honest, I don't blame you. I wanted to keep reading too. So just kidding, Amanda. We love you.
It's like me.
really mad at Amanda. We're not really mad at her. We're just like, okay, I guess there's just more to catch up on later. So, but yeah, I guess everybody keep reading, and we'll see you guys on the next chapter.
Bye.
Bye.